All right, I know not much is going on this Sunday, so I thought I'd come on here, have some fun, and have a Sunday fun day question and answers with you, fellow believers. Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to this random edition of Believers Talk. I have no idea how long I'm going to be on here. I have no idea what we are going to talk about. I have some topics that we can talk about, but I'm leaving this up to you guys, the fans. First of all, thank you for joining me on Believers Talk. If you're new to this channel, hit that like button, really helps out the channel, and hit that subscribe button as well. Always enjoy having new believers come on as we talk about Buffalo sports, mainly the Buffalo Bills, of course, but we can talk about the Buffalo Sabres, talk about the Buffalo Bulls. We're just here to have a good time today. Again, Sunday fun day. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? It's almost like it was a regular season, right? Regular season Sundays, I normally go live around this time and give you live play reaction to the game. So I thought I'd get on here and see what is going on. Big Host Buffalo comes in. Happy Sunday, Mr. Eyebrows. I don't mind that nickname. Hey, King Cam, how you doing? Welcome to Believers Talk. Like I said, guys, I don't care what we talk about. We can talk about the Bills. We can talk about everything the Bills have done so far in free agency, my expectations moving forward in free agency. I try to talk about that when I do the player profile videos, but we can talk about that. Obviously, the NFL draft is less than a month away, so we can talk about the NFL draft a little bit. We can talk about the Buffalo Sabres. The Buffalo Sabres have signed some players, and they have made things a little interesting if you're a Sabres fan as well. Still good to see them pulling off some moves even during this break, getting ready for that 2020-2021 NHL season that hopefully does not get postponed due to everything. Obviously, guys, the biggest thing we want to talk about is make sure you are all staying safe out there as we're all quarantined to our homes. Glad that I can provide some, if only a little, entertainment. I was sitting there watching the Joe Namath Football Life on NFL Network. It's going all right. It's fine, but I've seen it before, so I just wanted to get on here and let's have some fun. Hey, John Patrick, how you doing? Sports Talk comes in here in the second round. Is it a good idea to bolster the receiving core? No, there's no need to now. Now, if there's someone available that we didn't see making it that far, like a T. Higgins, then yes, you want to go after best player available. But that's what the Buffalo Bills have done. Sports Talk by AJ, that's a good question because, again, and we've talked about on this channel before, and we've talked about in other channels as well, and other Buffalo sports channels talked about it as well. The Buffalo Bills have really set themselves up nicely to go after best player available. Let's say someone like a T. Higgins is available in the second round, and then I think you have to go after him. You have to take that shot. The only thing that the Bills need right now and the receiving core is size, right? You have the Smurfs, as Coach McDermott put it not too long ago, just last season, and now you add Stephon Diggs to that lineup, so now you have some explosiveness. Now all you need is some tall red zone target to get in there, maybe compete with Duke Williams for a starting job. And as if you're a fan of this channel, you know that I have definitely been saying this guy's name, Colin Johnson out of Texas. I'm a huge fan of his. Guy's 6'5". That's someone who can come down with the ball in the end zone. And that's the only thing I think the Buffalo Bills need at receivers. So if you're talking about some wide receivers available in the second round, they're still under 6 feet tall. There's no need to go wide receiver. You can go running back, you can go defensive end, you can go corner still. There's a lot of places you can go. You can go linebacker. I know we picked up A.J. Klein, but he is more of a rotational type linebacker. Not sure if he is someone who could be your full-time starting linebacker. So we'll see what the Buffalo Bills do, but you don't have to do anything in the second round, and that's kind of the benefit of what the Bills have done so far in this NFL free agency period is, yeah, you don't have to do anything. The one position of need that I would always point out right now is punter, right? I don't like our punter position right now. But I don't think they're going to go after a punter in the second round. I just don't see that happening. I don't see us pulling a Jets or I think Oakland did it one time. I see us actually going in there maybe sixth round. How am I doing, Sports Talk? I'm doing great, thank you. Is running back a need? Yes, it is. It absolutely is. But we picked up Devin Singletary in the third round last season, so there's no reason why we have to hurry up and get running back now. We can wait until the third, maybe fourth round, and pick up a decent running back to back up Devin Singletary, because Devin Singletary is going to be our main starter, right? Devin Singletary, I even put it on this page once. I think Devin Singletary has a chance to actually lead the league in rushing this year. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, just because I think he's going to get a bulk of the carries. Now, we don't know what we have in Christian Wade, right? Christian Wade came over in the international program last year. He was on the practice squad. The NFL gives the teams that bring over an international player that 11th practice squad roster spot for free. So he was on the practice squad last year. It's going to be interesting to see what this coaching staff thinks that we have in a guy like a Christian Wade. We also still have TJ Yeldon. Now, what I'm afraid of is if you leave TJ Yeldon back there, it's going to be a sign to the defense that, hey, they're passing it. I don't want the Buffalo Bills to become predictable, right? You have Singletary back there, they're running the ball. If they have Yeldon back there, they're passing the ball. I don't want that to happen. So we'll see how the Buffalo Bills handle the running back position. But again, if Christian Wade is better than I think he's going to be, which I would be very happy about that, then we don't need to go running back right away. But right now, you look at the running back room, it is getting a little bare. You talk about Devin Singletary, TJ Yeldon, and Christian Wade. Other than that, I think you still have you still might have some other guys on there, but not any of that. No, they're the ones I'm thinking about, unrestricted free agents. So no, those are the three guys we have. What's up, Mafia / Believer, says Elliot. Elliot, how you doing? I haven't sworn yet, so you didn't miss anything, all right? I didn't swear yet. I don't know if I'm going to do it, but you haven't missed anything yet. If I do it, it will be after you came, so glad that you can make it. Karen Williams is in here. Good news. My brother is cleared of the virus. That's awesome, Karen. Glad to hear that. Got quarantined and basically drank for 3 weeks and tested was okay. What did he drink? Water or alcohol? Or both, maybe. Maybe he drank both. Yeah, that's all you need to do, right? You're in quarantine. What else are you going to do? So I'm glad to hear that he's doing better, Karen. Thank you for keeping us up to date. And again, just send our thoughts to your brother and let him know that we're happy that he is doing well. Don't we still have Vosean Joseph for another? We do, King Cam, and I'm very much excited for Vosean Joseph to see how much he'll improve this year, and if he will be one of those rotational players with Klein when the season starts. I look forward to seeing what Vosean Joseph can add to this linebacker room after being drafted last season, basically being behind Lorenzo Alexander and Tremaine Edmonds and Matt Milano. What has he learned in that season that hopefully will propel him up to a starter role at the linebacker position? Again, we got Matt Milano in the 5th round from Boston College. We pick up Vosean Joseph from Florida last year in the 5th round. Let's see if he just continues to add to the depth of that linebacking core. I'd be excited to see it, and I think that he has a little bit of nastiness to him. And we saw it in the preseason last year. Some of those hits, he has a vicious streak of big hits, and that goes all the way back to his days in Florida. We saw it last year in the preseason. Hopefully it continues to improve and we do have a stud linebacker again picked up in the 5th round for the Buffalo Bills. Elliot gets a good smile in there, gets a good laugh. And who knows what I'm going to rant about. Obviously, the Cam Newton thing is coming past, I believe. I think that everyone now realizes that Cam Newton is not going to be a fit for the Buffalo Bills. I think Cam Newton deserves to be a starter in this league. I really do. Now, I hope he doesn't come to New England, and if he comes to New England, then I hope he doesn't do well. But I think Cam Newton does deserve to be a starter in this league, or at least deserves a chance to be a starter. We know that if he came to Buffalo, Josh Allen would still be the guy, right? And there wouldn't be a competition or anything like that. As long as Josh Allen was healthy, he was going to be the guy week 1. And he should be. He should be the guy. He's earned that at least. He's taken this team to the playoffs last season. He gave us a 16-0 lead in that game, caught a touchdown pass in that game. He deserves to be the starter this season. And if everyone's talking about this being a make or break year for Josh Allen, then he needs to be given a chance to prove what he can do. I personally do not think this is a make or break year for Josh Allen. I think this is a more make or nothing happens type year for Josh Allen. Josh Allen comes out and balls like he did last year, maybe a little improvement than last season. Then he's going to get his contract extension. He's going to get a contract with the Buffalo Bills. If Josh Allen struggles, the Bills are just still going to have him next year. He's still under contract the following season in 2021, and that would be the make or break year for Josh Allen, in my opinion. I think that he can only help his stock coming into this season. He really can't hurt his stock too much. Now, I think that if he has a bad season, he just doesn't get that contract that he's looking for with the Buffalo Bills. I hope that he has a good season. I hope the Buffalo Bills re-sign him or give him a contract extension next year in the offseason, but we're going to see what happens. Obviously, right now, as far as contract extension goes, everyone's looking at Tre'Davious White. Right? Tre'Davious White, we want to see him get his contract extension. We talked about it a little bit on Thursday. Currently, the highest paid cornerback in the NFL makes $16.5 million a season. I would go straight up to 18, maybe even 19 to make sure that you keep Tre'Davious White as part of this team. I talked about it on Thursday, and if you're new to the channel, or if you haven't been able to, you didn't reply on Thursday, how much would you be willing to pay Tre'Davious White? Where would your salary stop at? Where would your offer stop at. If he was asking for 21 million, I think that's a little too much, right? I think that you're asking a little bit more than what cornerbacks usually make. But would you be willing to go there? I did see one person put, and I like this idea, make it a base salary of 18 mil with incentives up to 20 mil. That makes him the highest paid cornerback in the game. It really resets the market at that cornerback position. I would be happy with that. I'd be completely fine with the Buffalo Bills doing that. Big Hose Buffalo says, what do you think about Darrell Williams? Darrell Williams was a great signing. I actually did a player profile video on him. So after this, if you want to go back and check that out, you're more than welcome to. I think if you gave me a list of all the Carolina Panthers that were unrestricted free agents going into this offseason, Darrell Williams was going to be one of the guys I would circle and say I want the Bills to get him. Now, I didn't know at the time that the Buffalo Bills would have taken 2/3 of the Carolina Panthers free agents, unrestricted free agents. But if I had one choice, maybe two choices, Darrell Williams would have been on that list. That's how much I like this guy. I think he's going to do really well in Buffalo. Again, Buffalo Bills defense, that's a real good scheme fit. And Buffalo's defense, whether you're talking about Leslie Frazier or Coach McDermott, seem to always be able to put you in a place that you can thrive in, right? If you're the defensive player, you can thrive knowing that you're going to a Coach McDermott, Leslie Frazier type defensive system, because that's the type of player they're going to look for. They know what they need. They're going to get it, and they're going to put you in the best position to succeed. And we've seen it multiple times. Even with his first year, we saw Preston Brown. We saw it with Jordan Phillips. And now I hope Jordan Phillips does well in Arizona, but we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens with Shaq Lawson now that he's going to be playing 60-70% of the snaps in Miami compared to 40-50% of the snaps in Buffalo. Does his progression go upwards, or does it slip down a little bit due to him getting tired? We'll see what happens, but I love the signing of Darrell Williams. I think that he's going to do really well in Buffalo. In the 4th round, would you draft a backup quarterback? I don't understand why everyone's hating on our current backup quarterback situation. I know that could get better. I think Matt Barkley had not Matt Barkley, is it Matt? Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. But he had a bad game last season when he came in for Josh Allen week 17. But I feel like the year before, yeah, it wasn't Matt Barkley. I'm sorry. I feel like the year before he came out and they beat the Jets 41-10, I believe it was. So I think that people are discrediting Matt Barkley way too soon. I think Matt Barkley can be a decent backup in the NFL. Besides that, I think Josh Allen's just still a bit too young to be the lead guy. I like a veteran guy behind Josh Allen. Remember, and I said this I think during the live stream with #Sports and Dan Mafia. Remember that Josh Allen did his best work when Derek Anderson was his backup quarterback, and Josh Allen went out for a little bit. Derek Anderson took over, didn't win any games for the Buffalo Bills, but he still was able to teach Josh Allen the right way to learn from your mistakes, the right way to play quarterback in the NFL. And I feel like Josh Allen grew exponentially in that first year with Derek Anderson behind him. I like Matt Barkley. Matt Barkley can be that veteran leader, that veteran presence. Hey, Father Snowman, Sports Dom. It was more like one. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, Sports. I'm not sure what you're saying there. But I feel like you don't have to answer to answer a quarterback question. I feel like there isn't a quarterback question right now. I like Matt Barkley back there. If I was going to go quarterback, if I don't like Matt Barkley, I would look at the unrestricted free agents and then pick a quarterback out of that group. So I'm going to the unrestricted free agents right now. And I would tell you who I like out of that group. And it's not Cam Newton or Jameis Winston, I promise you that. But let me look at this group here. Josh McCown, if he's available, I would pick him up. I mean, that's the type of guy I want if I'm not going after keeping Barkley, right? Joe Flacco was a name that was brought up during the live stream, someone that I wouldn't mind having as a backup, someone who's been a starter in this league, who we know can do well. Someone who knows the league, knows the systems, things like that. I wouldn't mind him at all. Geno Smith, another guy who you don't plan ever being a backup in plan playing in the NFL, but he could definitely be a veteran leader that Josh Allen can lean on, get some thoughts about his game. Matt Moore, another one that I don't mind. So those are the quarterbacks I would be looking at, more veteran guys for to replace Matt Barkley, but I won't be looking to replace him in the NFL draft. Might as well be called the Buffalo Panthers, says King Cam. Barkley knows the Bills' offense. Yeah, that's another thing, James. You are absolutely correct. Do the Buffalo Bills want to bring in? Does Dable want to bring in another quarterback and teach him the Buffalo Bills system? Because right now, Matt Barkley knows that system, and Matt Barkley is able to help Josh Allen a little bit more when it comes to plays on the field. Look at a play on the field and say, well, we're supposed to be doing this here. This is what you did. This is what you need to improve on. That's a great point, James. He already knows the Buffalo Bills system. You talk about the other guys I mentioned, all could be good backups, but that's another learning curve that you have to be prepared for, and that's not something you have to worry about with Darrell Williams. And you have to wonder if, with everyone being home because of the coronavirus, if that's why they're not going to look at a backup quarterback other than Matt Barkley, because Matt Barkley already does know the system. You talk about some of the facilities would already be opening up in the NFL, so players would be able to go there. Josh Allen would be able to meet with Stephon Diggs if everything was normal right now. Unfortunately, that can't happen due to the quarantine. So why would you want to add to that pressure of bringing somebody else new into the system if he's not going to help your team this season? Elliott comes in. I think our D line got better. I think our O line got better. I think our D line got better this off season. I know that we lost Jordan Phillips. I know that we lost Shaq Lawson, but I feel like our D line did get better, did improve, and that's why instead of getting a Shaq Lawson, they went after Mario Addison. I think that proves that they thought Mario Addison, because Mario Addison was signed the same day as Jordan Phillips or as Shaq Lawson. It wasn't like we skipped a beat there. We didn't talk to Shaq Lawson or Jordan Phillips. I'm sure we did, but we signed guys that would fit our scheme. And what I've said about Jordan Phillips since the beginning is he a good enough player to continually get 9.5 sacks, or is it a scheme fit? Kind of like it was with Preston Brown. Would it be a scheme fit, and could someone else be plugged in there and get 5, 6, 7 sacks, and us not really miss a beat on defense, pay him a little bit less, and be able to continue forward with the defense that we have? I think that's what the Buffalo Bills coaching staff and front office decided. They decided, hey, we can continue to move forward with a guy that we could pay a little bit less, send Jordan Phillips away, maybe get a compensatory pick the next season. Let's talk about that a little bit, right? Finally get a compensatory pick for these free agents that we're losing. And then, although I don't think they think about compensatory picks at the time, that's just going to be a benefit next year. And then work from there. Darrell Williams equals insurance policy for our O-line. I mean, Darrell Williams, one thing I really like about Darrell Williams is his versatility. Last year, like I said, he played guard and tackle, right? So if you have an injury at guard or at tackle, you can decide what to do there. Even if you want to put Ford at guard, let's say John Feliciano goes down. I don't want to see it. I love John Feliciano. But let's say he goes down. You move Ford into guard, and then you put Darrell Williams at tackle, because Darrell Williams is a much better tackle than he is guard. He could play guard, and he does a serviceable job, but if Cody Ford would be better suited at guard, move in Cody Ford, and then you can have Darrell Williams play tackle, and then you still have a pretty decent, pretty solid offensive line. Now, my problem with that is if you have Cody Ford at tackle, do you want to be switching around pieces, right? I mean, what I want is if someone gets hurt, you're able to fill in that spot with a new guy. I don't want someone who's normally playing tackle to go in and play guard, because then you're switching two positions basically. You're putting a new guy at tackle, a new guy at guard, and so you would rather keep it the same as much as you can and see what happens. Yeah, King Cam liked the video, absolutely, but right now I have more likes than viewers, so that's very nice, so I appreciate that. Let us know, man, do I think the season will be played in UK here? They're talking about canceling the whole soccer season now. Well, the soccer season should already be happening, right? Soccer season will be going on right now. I don't mind, and this is coming from someone who is a fan of all sports, if the NHL and NBA season do come back, they should go straight to the playoffs, right? Straight to the playoffs. You had 60 plus games to determine your top 8 seeds. If you didn't make it in those 60 games, I'm sorry. That's just bad luck. We've had shortened seasons in the NBA. We've had cancellations of seasons due to holdouts in NHL. So it's not something that's unprecedented, right? You can just go straight to the playoffs and be fine. Now, when you look at the NFL, like I said, the NFL would already be starting some of their off-site training programs right now. You'd have some of these new free agents coming into the facility and hanging out with other Buffalo Bills players. You'd have Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs able to meet, even if it's outside the team facility, and just to try to get some things going, get some things organized, get ready for when training camp, OTAs, all that started. They could begin that process right now under normal circumstances. Now, from my understanding, they are playing video games together. They're Skyping or using video chat to make sure they're trying to stay in contact with each other, which is awesome. That's a really good thing. But again, normally, if everything was going according to plan, they would already be able to meet at this time and be able to meet with some of your new free agents. And so to answer Father Snowman's question, the further this goes, obviously it's going to backtrack the NFL season a little bit. I don't think that it's going to be canceled altogether. Obviously, people are saying that they don't know what's going to happen, and without getting too much into my feelings on the whole coronavirus thing, I feel like the whole world is being a little more reactive than they are proactive when it comes to this coronavirus, and so I just don't know if like personally, I think that the coronavirus has already struck most, if not all, of the United States. I feel like it's in 85% of households already, which again, I want you all to be safe and listen to the CDC. But you could be an asymptomatic carrier and never know it because you never had any symptoms. So, again, I don't want to talk about that too much, but I feel like it's running its course, and we see in China that curve is already beginning to level out a little bit, or if not a little bit more now. And so I feel like by August we should have a good, decent amount of control on this thing, whether it be taking a flu shot and a coronavirus shot or whatever the case might be. But I feel like by August we'll have a pretty good idea of what's going on, and I feel like then the NFL season will go on. That doesn't mean we have to go back a little bit, maybe start week 1, the third week of September. And then maybe that's going to be a thing. We won't cancel the season, though. I feel like maybe we might just go back a little bit. Maybe come February, mid-February to late February is the Super Bowl instead of early February. But that's the furthest I see this thing going. I feel like we are going to play an NFL season when that time comes. James Snee says, have John F. backup center, play guard, play Cody at right guard, and then you're talking about play Williams at tackle possibly. Again, it all depends how Williams does during training camp. You talk about an offensive line right now that's still intact from last season that knows the Buffalo Bills system. If Darrell Williams can come in and learn the system quickly, and if the Buffalo Bills are considering moving Cody Ford to guard, we don't even know that. That's just something we're presuming. Maybe they put him at tackle, and that's their plan, is to stick him at tackle, to leave him at tackle. And if that's their plan, then the best thing to do is to leave John Feliciano at guard and have Ford play tackle. But if you bring Gordon in a tackle, then you have a competition or Ford in the guard, then you have a competition between Feliciano and Williams for tackle. I think that would be a fun little competition there as well. Did you hear that Josh Allen and George Kittle are running COD? I didn't Call of Duty right now. I did not know that. I don't keep up to date with Call of Duty, so that's pretty cool though. I'm glad that they're having a good time. Even one guy infected would be a disaster if they all got together to practice. Yeah, no, you're right. Dan, it could absolutely be a disaster. But I feel like we have a disaster on our hand. That's why it's a pandemic, because it is a disaster. I mean, it's already hit so many people. I mean, you heard about who was it, Josina Anderson, or ESPN reporter. You just heard that the Knicks owner, Dolan, he's now tested positive for COVID. Sean Payton's tested positive. You have all these people, Tom Hanks tested positive, all these people testing positive. And, again, it's not a good thing, but at the same time, how far are we going to let this thing go? I mean, are we going to stay in our houses for the next 3 months and not do anything? I just don't see that happening. I know people are already getting stirred crazy. I mean, we're just not, the human response is normally to be around people, not to be shut out from the world. And even introverts, they don't mind. Like, I can be an introvert at times, believe it or not, and I like being shut out from the world for a day or two. But you're talking about 3, 4, 5 months. Who knows what's going to happen? But again, I'm not a doctor. I'll listen to whatever the CDC says and go from there and respond from that. But again, I just don't see the NFL canceling this season. They're still going to do the NFL draft, right? They're doing everything they can to keep the NFL league year going. So why would they be doing that if there were any thoughts right now of canceling the 2020 NFL season? I just don't think that's something that's really on their radar right now. Again, postponing it maybe, but as far as canceling it, I just don't see that happening. So, but we'll see. Again, I don't act like I know what's going on. I don't act like to be a doctor or someone higher up in NFL who can make a decision, because I'm not that person. So we'll see what they decide. But again, guys, thank you for joining me on Believers Talk. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button as we continue to keep you up to date on all of the Buffalo Bills free agent signings. Every single free agent. I was a little late on EJ Gaines, but I got there. We do a player profile. I talk about the benefits of adding someone like EJ Gaines or whatever free agent we signed to this team, and what does it mean for the Buffalo Bills moving forward. Every Monday, I do a Could It Happen Buffalo Sports Edition. Now, I will let you guys know tomorrow's edition of Could It Happen Buffalo Sports has nothing to do with the Buffalo Bills, but I think you'll still be interested. I look forward to doing it. I've been doing a lot of research on it. I look forward to doing the video, so I hope you guys enjoy it too. But that's every Monday. A new Could It Happen video comes out, and I really enjoy them. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? Who is my favorite player currently on the Buffalo Bills or ever of all time? Currently on the Buffalo Bills, I love Josh Allen. I do. Even though I am not 100% sold that he is the answer at quarterback. I am not. I'm not there. I'm not saying that. But Josh Allen's determination, Josh Allen's love for the game and love for this city has really spoken to me. I mean, I think that he has taken this team on his back at times. I mean, think about that time where he jumped over Anthony Barr from Minnesota his rookie season. Think about the time in the Thanksgiving game where he fumbles down 4th and 1 and he goes, picks it up, and he has Dallas defenders going after him. One guy taking his face mask, and he still leans forward to get that first down. So many different things happened. Speaking of face masks for a first down, the game against the Patriots, week 16, where he dives across to get on a 4th and 1 to get a first down. There's an obvious face mask that the refs don't call, and he still gets the first down. I think Josh Allen has to be one of the favorite players of most Bills fans right now, just due to the intangibles that he has, right? He's a natural born leader, and you can see that on the field. Now, again, there's still some tangibles you want to see. You want to see that completion percentage go up. You want to see the turnovers minimized, right? Including fumbles. You want to see him hold on to that ball a little bit better. You want to see him throw a wide receiver open. Right now, it seems like he's a little delayed when he sees a wide receiver. It looks like he's trying to throw the wide receiver once he's open and not give him a lot of room to run after the catch. You need to throw a wide receiver to be open, and then he has room to run, especially when you have a guy like Cole Beasley, especially when you have a guy like Stephon Diggs. You need to be able to throw him open so he can run with the ball after the catch, because that's where you get a lot of your stats. That's where quarterbacks get a lot of their stats, is especially a guy like a Tom Brady. How many wide receivers made Tom Brady look good because of yards after catch? And now Tom Brady assists with that because he finds them and he gets them open and he throws to them open so they can make some moves downfield and go one-on-one against some players downfield and make plays down the field. But at the same time, how many times have we seen a 5-yard pass go into a 15, 20-yard gain because he throws the wide receivers open, and that's what Josh Allen needs to do. But right now, talking about the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen has been my favorite, but 1A, if I had a 1A, would have to be Tre'Davious White as well. Dan says Josh exhibits a lot of great qualities. Absolutely, he absolutely does. Sports Dom comes up and says Josh Allen. Absolutely. Second excellent season in free agent signing. So far, remember, free agency's not done yet. I mean, I don't know. The Buffalo Bills currently right now sitting about 20 mil still in cap space. And again, I really want us to re-sign Tre'Davious White. I think that's such a big deal. Now, I think we'll either rework the Trent Murphy deal, or we'll just cut them all together, and that will save us, I believe, $7 or $8 million in cap space. But if you're talking about signing Tre'Davious White to a 16, 17, $18 million deal, that's going to eat up a lot of that cap space. So I'm not sure what else is going to happen for the Buffalo Bills in free agency. Right now, do they have enough money to re-sign Tre'Davious White? That's another great question. I'm not sure if they have that much money in cap space available to re-sign Trey White and sign their draft picks and do all their things that they need to do during this offseason for the Buffalo Bills. He'll get the deep ball fixed and watch out. I hope so. That's another thing he needs to work on, is that accuracy on the deep ball. Sorry, I just hit the computer there. Hopefully I straightened it back up. Give me a second. I'm going to make sure it's straightened back up. It is. All right, cool. Good stuff. But yeah, he needs to work on the accuracy of the deep ball. That's another thing that he needs to do. But we'll see what happens. Hey, Scott, how you doing? Welcome. Hey, Scott, I saw that on Bills News Consolidated, you won that Josh Allen jersey, so congratulations for that. I told my wife that, and she's like, "Isn't his name called a lot?" I was like, "Yeah, but he deserves it." So congratulations. I know what you're going to do with it, and I'm just really happy to see it go to such a great place. So again, congratulations on that, Scott. Hopefully you enjoy it, or your son enjoys it. I think it's going to be awesome for you guys. Let me see about other. Again, guys, I'm on here just because it's Sunday and I'm bored. That's the goodness why I came on here. I was watching the Sports Life about Joe Namath. My son's currently napping, so when he wakes up, you might see a quick exit. But I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys. Glad that you guys can join me again. Thank you guys for joining me. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, hit that thumbs up button. 17 plus 14 always equals 6. Kind of like 12 plus 83 always equals 6. So we'll see how well they do together now that they'll be together, hopefully for at least 4 seasons, if not longer, when that yeah, on a roll. On when we can re-sign Josh Allen, because obviously we want to re-sign Josh Allen because that means things are going in the right direction. Way to go, Scott, says Dan Tantonio B. Jordan Palmer is on record saying how they are working on his deep ball this summer. For the past 2 years, they've been working on his short game. Hopefully, they're still working on everything. What you don't want to see happen is Josh Allen's deep pass get better and then his short game suffer from it, right? You want to make sure that his short game stays consistent, and then they can work on his long game together. And that's another benefit of having Ken Dorsey there for the second season as his QB coach too. We know that they work together a lot as well. So we'll see what happens. But again, right now it's tough because there's not much going on. You can't do much, right? You're in quarantine. In fact, I heard that Josh Allen was in quarantine with Sam Darnold right now, just trying to stay inside and still try to talk some football and get some things done. But right now, Josh Allen's in quarantine just like the rest of us. So again, I hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday, even though we have to be a little bit in quarantine, have to look out for each other. That's what we're best at doing when times call for it. So again, thank you guys for joining me on Believers Talk. Again, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. But we can, again, talk about the Sabres and Bulls as well. Again, as far as the Sabres fans concerned, the NHL season stopped a long time ago, so it doesn't matter what they do as far as the season is concerned. But again, the Sabres still doing things while this is going on. They just signed a couple players, a couple young players from Rochester come up. So we'll see if they help out this team a little bit. I'm looking through the Sabres stuff right now because I know they signed some prospects here. So we'll talk about them. Samuelson signs a 3-year deal. Played two seasons at Western Michigan. So again, some Sabres news while they're on break. So we'll talk about them a little bit. I think the Sabres are looking up. I really do, guys. But again, unfortunately, we're talking 9 straight seasons without making the playoffs. The Buffalo Bills, free agency still going on. We can talk about some free agents that are available. But again, I'm not sure how much money the Buffalo Bills have left to spend if they are going to re-sign Tre'Davious White. Now, we still have the option to sign Tre'Davious White to a 5th-year option. We have till about May to do that. So hopefully we do that at least, and then we can work out a contract with Tre'Davious White. Because according to Spot Track right now, the Buffalo Bills estimated cap space top 51 is $26 million. But that's without knowing exactly how much some of the recently signed free agents, including Darrell Williams, is going to make the season. I think Darrell Williams is going to cost somewhere close to $6-7 million this year, if not more. And so that will bring that number down to less than $20 million if that happens. Hey, Scott, thank you for the super chat. What a season forthcoming, Joe. I really anticipate a huge season for Josh Allen. So optimistic and pumped. And again, this goes back to last season too, right? When was the last time you can remember being this optimistic about a Buffalo Bills season? Again, it all hinges on Josh Allen right now, and there are no more excuses for Josh Allen. The Buffalo Bills front office has given him every weapon available to have a successful season, and so we really hope that he takes advantage of Stephon Diggs. We really hope that John Brown still has a great 70-plus reception type season, and we still hope Cole Beasley always finds a way to get open. And it should be easier for him now with another wide receiver on the outside. But again, Scott, thank you for the $4.99 donation. Guys, if there's ever a comment you want me to read and I'm not reading it, or I'm missing out because the chat sometimes does go by fast and I'm a slow reader, just leave me that super chat. Again, all proceeds from the super chat go right back into the channel, and I will make sure to continue to provide great Buffalo Bills content for all of you. Again, free agency's not over. Obviously, they could do some more things. I do still plan on giving you a full first-round mock draft. Now, it's not going to be as exciting now that the Buffalo Bills don't have a first-round pick, but also giving you a full Buffalo Bills draft where I go over every single Buffalo Bills pick. We'll talk about some trade possibilities. Again, remember the Buffalo Bills still have 7 draft picks this year in the NFL draft. I really believe that if the Buffalo Bills would want to, they can move up in the second round. In fact, hashtag sports just put out a video today. So if you haven't checked it out, go to hashtag sports, check it out, about potential trade partners for the Buffalo Bills if they want to move back up into the second round. Remember last season, we moved back up into the second round, pick up Cody Ford. We moved up, what was it, 2-3 spots maybe? But when you talk about having an extra sixth round pick, seventh round pick, you can use an extra fifth, I believe we still have. You can use those and move up and get the guys that you're looking for. If a guy slips into the middle second round, you're talking about a possibility of jumping up and getting a guy that you really want, or that you could really use. Again, the Buffalo Bills have put themselves in a position to draft best player available. So we'll see what they do. It's definitely a sustained approach to this build. I was not disappointed with Allen last year, but I'm excited for the extra weapons. Yeah, and we do need to see maybe even a bigger jump from Josh Allen this year. It's normally that third year where a quarterback finally figures it out, where the game slows down enough for the quarterback to figure it out enough to continue to improve, right? Now we saw with who am I thinking of? Baker Mayfield. We saw Baker Mayfield. His rookie season, he was up here. His second season, he seemed to slump a little bit, right? So we'll see what happens with Baker in Cleveland. Sam Darnold is a great young quarterback. I know that the Jets do not look that great, but I think Sam Darnold's a really good quarterback. I think his stock's on the rise. Of course, we all know what's going on with Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. Obviously, the Baltimore Ravens happy they traded back into the first round to get him a rookie deal and get an option to sign him to a fifth-year option before they have to sign him for big money as well. But also, you think about Josh Rosen. We know where he's at. Still not getting the opportunity that maybe some people think he deserves. First being with Arizona, being traded from Arizona to Miami, and then setting himself up as a backup in Miami. Now the Dolphins are talking about possibly trading or possibly drafting a Tua Tagovailoa. So obviously Josh Rosen still not getting the opportunities he thought he would get coming into the NFL. Hopefully things work out where he does get more opportunity. But what we've seen of him, he hasn't been that impressive. But again, you look at the teams he's played for, look at the staff around him, really hasn't had the best opportunity to succeed. Sometime this offseason, I do plan on doing a video about the 2018 NFL draft class quarterbacks and re-ranking them as far as who I would have taken when in the NFL draft. I'm really happy we got Josh Allen. Again, there are measurables there that unmeasurables there that no one could touch. Intangibles was the word I was looking for there. That I really look forward to seeing him improve on, including those tangibles. So again, guys, thank you for joining me for this impromptu edition of Believers Talk. Again, I just wanted to come on here. I was bored. I wanted to have a good time. Glad you guys hung out with me for a little bit. I think they stay with positions in second and third, Joe. Just think impact players will be available at their current place. Definitely best player available. I don't disagree. Again, unless someone drops that they weren't expecting to drop and they're not sure if they'll get him in the second round. Remember, no one thought DK Metcalf was going to be the last pick of the second round last season. A lot of people were talking about DK Metcalf with the Bills' first round pick, right? And then he lasted and then we thought for sure we were probably going to give him in the second round if he was there. And then he lasts till the end of the second round. So if the Bills see someone dip, we know that Brandon Beane's not afraid to take that leap to go get a player that he wants. So again, guys, thank you for joining me on this edition of Believers Talk. Again, kind of impromptu, so I was glad I got to talk to you for a little bit, on here for a little bit more than half an hour. Again, if you haven't hit that subscribe button already, hit that subscribe button. Like this video. Again, Scott, thank you for the donation. And again, congratulations on winning that Josh Allen jersey over at Bills News Consolidated. That's really cool, man. I look forward to talking to you all soon, as we're all excited for the start of the 2020 season. Again, be safe out there. Look forward to talking to you all soon. Until I do,